Hello everyone, my name is Fraulein Ersatz and I'm here to represent my group in presenting our topic, which is Gerunds and Infinitives Part 2. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity and let me introduce our group members. First, we have Muhammad Nazri Nazasyah as the leader of the group, and then me, Fraulein Khaleda, as the speaker. We also have Muhammad Farhan Basya as the senior member, and the rest of the members are Salsabilla Thaher, Felisitas Tagung, Kenza Kiandra Bernaldi, and last but not least, Melanie Orlita. So without further ado, let's begin. First, we'll focus on verbs that are followed by infinitives. So what is an infinitive? An infinitive is to plus the base form of a verb. For example, to go, to see, to be, to eat. We use infinitives after certain verbs. Some verbs are followed immediately by an infinitive. For example, I hope to see you again soon. He promised to be here by 10. Notice that the verb hope and promise are directly followed by to plus verb. We can also make it negative. For example, he promised not to be late. Just add not before the infinitive. You can see inside the table, here are some common verbs that follow this pattern. Now let's look at a different pattern. Some verbs need an object before the infinitive. For example, Mr. Lee told me to be here at 10 o'clock. The police ordered the driver to stop. The structure is verb plus object plus infinitive. When we use the passive voice, the object becomes the subject. For example, I was told to be here at 10 o'clock. The driver was ordered to stop. Here are some verbs that follow the structure. Tell someone to, advise someone to, remind someone to, invite someone to, etc. For example, the teacher reminded us to study for the test. My parents want me to clean my room. You can see here is the exercise with the explanation. Number 1, would you like to join us? Would like is followed by a to infinitive. Number 2, Jack avoided looking at me. Avoid is a verb that is always followed by a gerund. Number 3, do you enjoy playing soccer? Enjoy is also followed by a gerund. Number 4, Mrs. Allen promised to help. Number 5, Paulo intends to inform his friend a letter. Intend is followed by a to infinitive. Number 6, residents are not allowed to keep pets. Allow someone to is from the list of verbs that take pronoun plus to infinitive. In the passive voice, it just becomes to plus infinitive. Number 7, I was asked to finish this package. Passive structure again, ask someone to is on the list, so in passive it becomes to plus infinitive. Number 8, I was advised to find a new apartment. Passive of advise someone to, and passive it takes to plus infinitive. Number 9, Jack advised finding a new apartment. Now it's not passive, and advice can also be followed by a gerund, so here finding is correct. Number 10, all applicants are required to take an entrance examination. Passive again from require someone to, and passive it becomes to plus infinitive. Let's move on to the next slide. Common verbs followed by either infinitives or gerunds. Some verbs can be followed by either a gerund ing or an infinitive, to plus verb, but the meaning can change or stay the same depending on the verb. Let's start with group A. These verbs can be followed by either a gerund or an infinitive, and the meaning stays the same. Examples of verbs: begin, start, continue, like, love, hate, prefer, and so on. Examples: it began to rain or it began raining. And then I started to work or I started working. Both mean the same thing. Note if the main verb is progressive, like was beginning, we usually use the infinitive. For example, it was beginning to rain, not beginning raining. Now let's look at group B. These verbs change meaning depending on whether they are followed by a gerund or an infinitive. Example of verbs: remember, forget, regret, stop, try. Let's go through a few examples to understand the difference. Number 1, the verb remember. For example, Judy remembers to lock the door. She remembers before she locks it. Another example, I remember seeing the Alps. Number 2, from the verb forget. For example, Sam often forgets to lock the door. Another example, I'll never forget seeing that movie. Number 3, from the verb try. For example, try to lift the box. Another example is try eating more vegetables. Number 4, from the verb stop. The example is she stopped drink water. Another example is she stopped drinking soda. Now here is the exercise for this one with the explanation. Number 1, I like going to the zoo. Number 2, the children love swimming in the ocean. Number 3, did you remember to give Jake my message? Number 4, I remember playing with dolls when I was a child. Number 5, what do you remember doing when you were a child? Number 6, what did you forget to do before you left for class this morning? Number 7, I can't ever forget watching our team soccer, the winning goal in the last seconds of the championship game. Number 8, don't forget to do your homework tonight. Number 9, I regret informing you that your loan application has not been approved. Number 10, I regret listening to my father's advice. Now let's look at a different pattern. Verb followed by gerunds. These are verbs that are followed by a verb ending in ing. First, a quick reminder, a gerund is the ing form of a verb, used as a noun. Some verbs are always followed by a gerund, not an infinitive. The structure is simple, verb plus gerund. Here are some examples. He admitted stealing the money. She advised waiting until tomorrow. They avoided answering the question. I can't bear waiting in long lines. In each sentence, the second verb takes the ing form. Let's look at some common verbs that are followed by gerunds. Here are just a few from the list. Admit, advise, anticipate, appreciate, avoid, and so on. Next is verbs followed by infinitives. Specifically, we'll look at two main types. Part A, verbs followed immediately by an infinitive. These are verbs that are directly followed by to plus base form of a verb. No noun or pronoun in between. So the pattern here is verb plus to plus verb is infinitive. There is no object, noun, or pronoun between the two verbs. For examples from the list are afford, I can't afford to buy it, agree, she agreed to help me, ask, he asked to come with us, and many more. Some verbs on the list have a bullet point. This verb can also be followed by gerunds, depending on the sentence and the context. Part B, verbs followed by a pronoun plus an infinitive. In this structure, the verb is followed by a noun or pronoun, then the infinitive. The pattern is verb plus pronoun plus to plus verb. It's used when someone is being told or asked to do something. For example, from the list are advise, she advised me to wait, allow, she allowed me to use her car, encourage, he encouraged me to try again. Here, the noun or pronoun is the object receiving the action. Now, here is the exercise. We'll also look at how the word it is often used to introduce these kinds of sentences. Let's break this down step by step using some examples. A. It plus infinitive. The example, it is difficult to learn a second language. In this sentence, the real subject is to learn a second language, but we use it at the beginning to make the sentence more natural. This is very common in English. It makes the sentence sound smoother and easier to understand. The structure is it plus be plus adjective plus to plus verb. B, gerund as subject. For example, learning a second language is difficult. Here, the gerund learning is used directly as the subject. A gerund is the ing form of a verb used like a noun. The structure is also correct and commonly used. The structure is gerund plus rest of the sentence. See infinitive as subject. For example, to learn a second language is difficult. This is grammatically correct. This is grammatically correct, but it sounds a bit more formal or awkward in an everyday speech. That's why we usually use the it plus infinitive structure from A. D. It plus infinitive for someone. D. It plus infinitive plus for. Example, it is easy for young children to learn a second language. Here, the phrase for young children tells us who is affected by the statement. You can also say, learning a second language is easy for young children. To learn a second language is easy for young children. Both are correct. But again, using it's easy for is the most natural in spoken English. The structure is it plus be plus adjective plus form plus to plus verb. Now here is the exercise. Next part is infinitive of purpose in order to. The purpose is to explain why someone does something. First, the correct structure, in order to plus verb. The example is he came here in order to study English. Another structure is to plus verb. He came here to study. This is more natural and commonly used. Also, the common mistakes are he came here for studying English. He came here to study English. Why wrong? For is followed by a noun, not a verb or to plus verb. Compare with for, sometimes we do use for to express purpose, but only when it's followed by a noun. For example, I went to the store for some bread. Correct, bread is a noun. Another example, I went to the store to buy some bread. Also correct, using the infinitive to buy. Here is the exercise with the explanations. Number 1, I went to Chicago to visit my relatives. Number 2, Tom went to Chicago for a conference. Number 3, I went to the market for groceries. Number 4, Mary went to the market to get fresh vegetables. Number 5, I went to the doctor to get a medical checkup. Number 6, my son went to the doctor for treatment. Number 7, I swim every day to stay fit and healthy. Number 8, my friend swims every day for the competition. Number 9, I drove into the service station to refuel the car. Number 10, they stopped at the service station for an engine check. The last one is adjectives followed by infinitives. The structure is adjectives plus infinitives. Some adjectives are followed by to plus verb to show feelings, attitudes, or reactions about an action. The structure examples are A. We were sorry to hear the bad news. B. I was surprised to see Ted this morning. Certain adjectives can be immediately followed by infinitives, as in the example A and B. Why use infinitives after adjectives? They explain how someone feels about something they did, saw, heard, etc. Usually used to describe a person's reaction, not an object. Now you can see in the table, these are the common adjectives followed by infinitives. Note, adjectives marked with bullet point are usually followed by a phrase explaining what caused the feeling. Now you can see here is the exercise. Number 1, she is certain to win the competition. Number 2, they were ready to start the project as soon as possible. Number 3, I'm glad to hear about your job promotion. Number 4, we are happy to help people. Number 5, he is afraid to talk with her. Number 6, he felt anxious to speak in the public. Number 7, I'm ready to go to the gym. Number 8, we were motivated to reach our dream together. Number 9, I was sorry to hear about your grandma. Number 10, she was careful to follow all the instructions given. That brings me to the end of our topic. I hope the explanation was clear and helpful. Thank you so much for your time and attention.